Immediately indulging in his haul from the VHS store, Jules devours tape after tape of a show called Woodcraft, which only stokes the embers of his growing carpentry obsession. Shaving back his overgrown beard once more, Jules' eyes wander to the neglected shower in the corner before his mind begins to construct a new and enticing plan. Returning to the trailer park to scrape together the necessary materials and skills, Jules already begins to fantasize about the possibilities opening up to him. It was time to clean up the clunkers he had dragged into his yard, Jules scavenges any last bits of knowledge he could from the worthless vehicles before preparing his new construction site. Finally seeing his first objective through, as he plumbs both the sink and the shower into the rain collection system he had pieced together, Jules smiles with rampant delight. Knowing he had one last bit of labor to finish before he could indulge in his first shower in months, Jules retrieves a respectable Christmas tree from the nearby woods and prepares for the coming holiday. Basking in the shower despite its freezing temperature, Jules feels more human than ever as he dries off next to his reliable wood stove. It's interesting what the human mind does to protect itself. With the arrival of Christmas just around the corner, I find myself thinking back to the last time I celebrated the honored holiday. Though it was only a year ago, it practically feels as if the memory I'm viewing is from an entirely different lifetime. The constant chatter of people, the relentless chiming of seasonal music, the images of smiling faces and ugly sweaters. It all is as real to me as the people I now watch on my television. It's impossible to imagine that the world will ever return to the way it once was, and perhaps that's why my mind is actively working to distance itself from the times that came before. Though I wasn't one for physical affection before the outbreak, it is strange to realize that I can't remember what it is like to embrace another person, to feel another living heart beating alongside my own. At least I still have the radio broadcast and its endlessly entertaining and reliant company, Jules. I suppose I asked for it, but in the grand scheme of things, I can't complain. The radio broadcast is now lost, as a particularly nasty blizzard has descended upon Little Hope. Even sheltered inside, the harsh winds and piercing cold force me to wear my most insulated clothing, but I can at least be thankful that I'm prepared enough to survive this. I also invited Martin inside, which is the name I've given the gnome I retrieved from the Martin's residence. Though I know it's a silly thing, I simply couldn't leave the smiling face exposed to the elements alone. At least now I'll have some company come Christmas, though I don't imagine we'll be having any insightful conversations anytime soon. Depending on how long this blizzard lasts, I might find myself writing in you once more. Jules. Beginning to work out to both keep himself warm and his mind busy, Jules finds himself reflecting on all the trials he had been through up until this point, and the fact they had left him fully prepared for such a devastating storm. Falling back on the comfort he had enjoyed before the outbreak, and finally having an excuse to justify the time it took, Jules begins the tedious but therapeutic process of organizing and cataloging the vast collection of knowledge he'd accumulated on his small hilltop. It appears as though the storm has broken, and the dreary and bone-chilling rain of winter has returned. At least I can step outside now without feeling as though my fingers will shatter from my hands, which allows me to continue my efforts on expanding the modest space of Little Hope. Though it is slow going, I hope to use my improved carpentry skills to build an expansive garage, allowing me to begin training my hands at car repair despite the weather. Jules. Having made steady progress on his largest goal yet, Jules recognizes that some tools and items he needs are in his peaceful sanctuary, requiring him to prepare for an expedition back down the hill. Though he was no longer plagued with fear at the thought, Jules did find himself hesitant to leave the tranquil existence he had enjoyed for so long. Spending nearly a week straight without having to face the undead or absorb the dreary scenery of a shattered society left Jules in a false state of bliss that he sadly had to surrender. Gearing up for his supply run, Jules already feels a smothering blanket falling around his heart, dampening his emotions indiscriminately. Clearing the warehouse that he had frequented many times before, Jules begins to search through the dim chamber before he found the bags of plaster he was after. Using this time to also pick back over the contents of the crates, the experienced survivor utilizes his improved storage capacity in hopes of never having to return again. Not done with his journey for the day, Jules arrives at the trailer park that was practically a second home before he begins to strip them even further. Arriving back at the comfort of Little Hope, after a hard day of hauling materials and tools, Jules strips away his hardened shell, layer by layer, as he prepares to settle back into the cozy life he had built for himself. Rising early in the morning, and mostly recovered from his trip the previous day, Jules can barely take the time to feed himself, as his mind and body are itching to tackle the workload he had prepared for himself. Not able to complete all he wanted, but making significant progress, Jules looks out the growing garage as he settles in for the evening and prepares for the festivities of tomorrow. It's Christmas. I think I can confidently say that Martin and I threw the best Christmas party in all of Knox County. Yes, sir. This started the day with some delicious pancakes, chocolate, butter, maple syrup, the works. Then we drank, we danced. Well, I danced. Martin is a little stiff. I gave Martin his gifts, a Spiffo plushie and a book with 101 icebreakers. I'm hoping he gets the hint. Anyway, heard the broadcast today. Guess they haven't heard about taking a holiday, but no news there. I gotta clean my toilet. Didn't keep all the pancakes down. Jules.
I guess this is what you call a Christmas miracle. This refuge shit actually real?
Yes, you're speaking with Tommy Reed of the NNR, and our broadcast and offers still stand. Can you please identify yourself and provide us with your location?
Shit. Not even gonna wine and dine me first? Whoever had the manners in this country.
If you're genuine in your intent to join us, then we need to establish a baseline of communications and trust. Now again, please state your name and location.
Trust? Now that's a scarce fucking commodity these days. Huh. But I guess it can't hurt to at least introduce myself to you fine folk. Name's Kevin. Kevin Conway.